Nerds.
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 Na 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 na. Nerds.
Nerds.
Shit. So unprepared I am. You got Andrew, turn that lamp on beside you. I got to turn my lights on too.
I like mysterious though. I like it.
We want to keep it dark.
Oh, this broke. What'd you do? The microphone came off.
That's what happens when you set up a live stream real quick after work. How did that fucking come off?
Yeah, I know your pain. Every time I set up a live stream after work, everybody has to look at my crotch. It's not good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna mute that. I'm gonna mute you. You and Dan just do something while we figure this out.
Quick, Brayden, vamp.
Oh wait, you got it?
Yeah, it's back. I think.
Let's fix.
All right, let's fixed enough.
Good for now.
Oh, Braden went. Braden's in a hotel, so his Skype's all fucked up. Your camera's gonna be all fucked up.
My Skype's fucked up. You're better off to put a potato on the screen than to use my Skype.
Brayden just put an image. What is this?
I accidentally took a screenshot, Dan. I don't know why that happened.
Okay.
Okay, well. All right, slow start to nerds, but nerds. What's on the nerd agenda today?
Well,
Horror movies.
it's that time of year.
Horror. How spooky.
Spooky.
I listened to mine Dad's Power Hour today at work. We say spooky like 1,400 times in that thing.
And it's not enough. So we're talking about spooky TV specials and movies that we, for this super spooky episode of Nerds.
I used to be really into horror movies, like high school time, but since then I've really fallen out.
Well, even younger than that, dude, because I remember back in old Blockbuster days, we used to go and your mom would never let us get The Exorcist because she says it was going to fucking possess us.
She did, and then I'll never forget the one day I went in with my dad and I was like, Dad, I want to rent any movie. He goes, I don't give a fuck. Why haven't you been renting them all the time?
As long as it has nothing to do with Sasquatch.
So from then on, I was like 12. I could rent whatever movie because he signed off. So then we rented fucking everything.
That's badass.
And The Exorcist was terrifying the first time. Absolutely terrifying.
I remember trying to slip them by my mom every once in a while, and that she let me fucking rent Sable from WWE's movie. Did you ever watch it whenever they'd have just
Is that a porn?
No, I thought it was. I was all excited. I was like, I'm definitely going to see your boobs. I didn't.
Did not.
We just heard doing photo shoots on the beach, which at age, 11 was probably enough.
That's pretty much porn.
It was pretty good.
I'm always a big. I don't really like any horror movies after 2000. I don't like horror movies where CG took over. I'm a big fan of practical effects. Like if it's practical effects, because those will hold up better than CG effects.
Oh, one second. Kind of stuff. We lost Braden.
Oh no.
Is he back in?
Yeah, boys, I have the shittiest internet of all time. So it's really cool.
Well, whatever.
Nerds.
You know what? I know this is probably going to be hard for you guys to believe, but I've never really been a giant horror movie fan.
What?
Probably because I'm a fucking coward, but I was always more which is weird though, because my favorite fucking time of year for cartoons is Halloween, by far. I feel like the best cartoons are always Halloween specials. Hands down.
I've always just been a big Treehouse of Horror fan. I've loved The Simpsons. I haven't watched it. I think but the last Simpsons Treehouse of Horror that I watched was the one where they did a Harry Potter spoof, and I don't like Harry Potter, so I was like, I'm done.
You what? You don't like Harry Potter?
They did a Harry Potter one in the Treehouse of Horror. They did a Harry Potter spoof, and I was like, eh. I was like, that was it. That was it for Treehouse of Horrors for me. I was like, I never watched one after that.
Oh man,
I liked all the classic ones.
I haven't watched a Treehouse of Horror in a long time.
Those were so good. What was the one? That one when Homer goes and he gets abducted by aliens. That was a good one. He gets abducted by aliens and they body snatch Bill Clinton and Bob Dole. Oh my god, that one was
That's a
really
really
good.
good one.
It's like, sirs, why are you always holding hands? He's like, well, if you know a better way to exchange long protein strands, I'd like to hear it. That's a really good one. But I think always those ones, like the really classic ones.
Oh man, those ones are great. I love.
My favorite one was the one where he goes and gets the monkey claw.
Oh yeah,
the three wishes.
That's probably the best one.
I can't remember what it happens, but then he's like, "Oh, if you take this, it's gonna poison the waters." He's like, "That's bad." And he's like, "But it gives to charity." He's like, "That's good." It does that for like 4 minutes. Love that.
Yeah,
scene.
it's like it comes with the free Frogut. That's good, but the Frogut is also cursed. That's bad. Can I go now?
That's bad.
Hey, do you think we get pulled off YouTube if I play a clip of Treehouse of Horror?
We'll get so in trouble.
Think so?
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%.
It's usually just it's usually just audio stuff.
I don't know.
Should we take a risk?
I don't know how.
Yes. Well, how much trouble are we gonna get into?
I don't know. I never got in trouble.
Let's roll the dice. See what happens.
Like we get copyright notice when we play music, but that's because I already have the rights. It just the distributor just automatically will just send you that no matter what. Even if you have the permission to play it, you can play it. But no matter what, you always get the strike. But I've never got one for video, so I don't know. Just for music.
Just fucking give her.
Podcasting.
This is nerds. We're a bunch of fucking rebels.
This is nerds.
Yeah, this is nerds. Give her.
It's nerds. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, play the video. That's good. Get mad.
Yeah.
That's bad. More content for our fans. That's good. Don't get to watch this on YouTube ever again. That's bad.
I remember those episodes so well. Like I remember the last wish Homer makes. He gets a turkey sandwich. He's like, I want a turkey sandwich, and it's like, I want mayo, I want tomato, and so help you God, it's like this, and he gets it. He's like, the turkey's dry. No.
You know what? I actually manned up and I watched a horror movie just for this. I watched the like most recent Halloween remake.
I heard it was really good.
Yeah, dude, it's scary. And you know what the problem is? I was like watching it, and then I was like, this is what always gets me with horror movies. Everyone's like, screaming and stuff when they're getting stabbed, and I'm like, oh, this fucking internet. Is it cutting out bad?
It did for a bit, but you're good.
It cut out for a second there, but
yeah, you're good.
Oh, I could only tell because all of a sudden all your faces froze on a look of disappointment. So that's where I was going. But watching it, I always can't like the thing that fucks me up with horror movies, and I always go to my brain. And I'm like, when someone's getting stabbed or like they do in that movie, or like this movie's real. Like, it's not very realistic, but like the way people are killed, it's not like other ones where it's just like ridiculous. Like people get strangled, like people get stabbed, and I'm like, this shit fucking happens to people. And that's what freaks me out the most. Is I'm like, and now I'm watching this like reenactment, and everyone goes like, ooh, and I'm like, motherfucker, that could happen.
Yeah,
that could happen. There's people out there doing that shit, and I'm like,
you know what Halloween freaked me out so bad when I was a kid? I think it was Halloween 5, The Curse of Michael Myers. And I don't remember why. I don't remember why it was that one, but I remember having this nightmare after it, which was so vivid. Like Michael Myers actually, that's the only time I've actually died in a dream. Like he got me in my room, and I was trying to go out the window, and he pulled me back in and stabbed me in the head or something.
Oh Jesus!
I couldn't sleep for a week. I was like maybe 12 years old. That was the only horror movie that actually like petrified me. Just that mask, man, the sinister mask, and the music. It was the music of Halloween.
You'll be hearing that soon next month.
No, that's not Halloween. That's Friday the 13th. Halloween's got that like like the piano. It's fucking yeah. That's the one. Oh, it's terrifying.
Used to be my ringtone.
But that movie, like scary movies, I've watched every year. Like around Halloween, I'll watch a couple. Last year, I watched It. And it fucked me up. I watched it in theaters, and I was like, this is the longest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life.
Man, I just watched last night because, you know, tis the season. I just watched Lost Boys for the first time in a long time. And I urge every single listener right now to rewatch that movie if you haven't watched it.
I don't even remember it.
You need to watch it because there's the most sexy scene I've ever seen in my entire life with none other than Tim Capello playing saxophone shirtless and just gyrating his fucking hips everywhere.
Is that the first time you masturbated?
Oh, yeah, it was my first experience by far.
Today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, did we lose Dan? Dan, are you there?
Yeah, Dan shot a message saying his internet went down. So
Jesus, this is very successful nerds.
Man, your
Nerds!
Skype camera is just off the charts.
Yeah,
man.
I thought you were doing that on purpose because you should. It's awesome.
It's like going from like a tiny little Skype to like max. Oh, you're back.
I don't know. I'm watching it on mine. I'm like, I'm not touching anything.
It feels like you're filming an episode of fucking Wayne's World.
Okay. So,
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's terrible.
You might want to
nothing
put
I
your
can do.
kids to bed. Tonight's very special Halloween.
oh, that's not even a real clip.
Oh, it's the top 10 best
Oh,
episodes.
bullshit.
Bullshit. But listen, like you seriously can't remember any of the old cartoons you used to watch on Halloween? Like fucking Garfield's fucking Halloween special was unreal. You don't remember that one?
No.
I don't remember this shit.
What? What about Ichabod Crane and Mr. Toad?
What? No.
You don't remember the fucking Ichabod Crane
What's that
Headless
one?
Horseman cartoon?
Ichabod Crane. How do I spell that? Ichabod. Crane.
Ichabod Crane and Mr. Toad.
I kind of remain.
Look at the picture and tell me you don't recognize
Toad
that.
like stands on his back legs.
The what? Sorry.
Stands
Ichabod
on his
Crane.
back legs.
Like the Ogopogo?
The Toad. Does he have a little top hat? I'm trying
No, that's
to think in my
Michigan
brain.
Frog. That's Michigan Frog. That's not even near anything what we're talking
Oh,
about.
I do. This looks familiar, but I don't remember anything.
Dude, this
about
is
it.
a fucking classic. This is a Halloween classic. What about A Haunted House Is No Home? The fucking Flintstones Halloween fucking special?
Is this one you're talking about? The Adventures
Yeah.
of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Yeah. Brayden,
I
can you
remember
see
that
that? You don't recognize
Uh,
that.
No.
That's absolute fucking blasphemy.
I recognize it, but I don't remember it at
Oh,
all.
it's
man.
fucking gold, man.
Huh.
Wow. I bet you Dan would recognize it.
Oh, 100%.
But even
Oh,
like
100%. Yeah.
even like the fucking the newer shit, like all the remember the Community Halloween specials? Those were amazing.
Oh yeah, I like they were the paintball ones, right? All the time.
No, well, remember the first one with the zombies, where they play the whole fucking ABBA soundtrack.
I don't remember.
I think
My
Andrew
brain
today is
only-
the biggest nerd.
Jesus Christ!
Biggest
you guys.
nerd today is Andrew.
Well, I love Halloween
Yeah.
fucking specials. Halloween specials
Halloween,
are the greatest.
Why do you like Halloween specials so much if you hate anything supernatural?
I don't hate. I love shit that's supernatural. I'm just a pussy. Just scares the shit out of me, man. Listen, you see as much fucking dead people as I do. You got it. You don't want
You think you'd just be immune to it?
No. Wow. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I've seen too many things to let me know
Maybe-
that
maybe you've
it's
got-
all too real.
Push too far.
Yeah, I got gypsy blood in me. That's what it is. I know better.
I
I fucking know better.
But like, I was more in the movies. Like I would always watch I watched a shit ton when we were kids.
Okay,
Like,
so
all the time we'd watch scary movies.
Who's the most iconic fucking? Let's go like you could even do like monster or murderer from the movies when you think about it. Who's your favorite?
Like,
Mike Myers, man. Mike
okay,
Myers.
well that's tough. That's tough for me because I'm like, what fucked me up
Yeah, who made you shit the
more
pants?
as a
Your
kid,
shit.
or like what do I like now?
No, who made you shit your pants the most as a kid?
Dude, that'd have to be between Pennywise from the original It with Tim Curry. Fucked me up pretty good as a kid. And then, you know what movie? Okay, and it's not even a Halloween movie, but I'm going to bring it up because that movie has fucked me up ever since I was a little kid. That shitty movie, Arachnophobia,
Oh, that did fuck me up actually.
fucked me up with spiders.
Really?
That was a terrifying movie. even
That was
though
a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Movie.
That fucking gets in the coffin and drains all the blood on the way back.
So you're going with Pennywise, original Tim Curry fucking
Yeah,
Pennywise.
original Pennywise, Tim Curry fucked me up as a kid. But like but then that was like when I was a tinier kid, like when I was a younger child, I saw that and fucked me up. But then like older, like a horror movie that really stuck with me, that really fucked me up, and not the back half of the movie, just the first half really creeped me out. Was Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
Where
I
he's
heard
just
from
in the van,
so
just, like,
many
taking
people.
That's a newer one. That was like what 2000. something.
Well, it's newer. It's
Yeah.
newer to us. There's probably millennials listening. Being
Who the
like,
fuck is Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers.
My brother. That's his by far his scariest fucking memory from a movie. Was that?
2001.
Yeah, that's fucking. I ducked that one. I was wising up. I was like, no, I know this one's gonna fuck me up. I'm not gonna watch it.
Well, it was a fucking. Like, just look at the movie cover of Jeepers Creepers. This is insane.
Jesus.
Well, that's
yeah.
Jeepers Creepers 3,
Oh.
but you get the idea.
No,
Same-
the first one is just like the one up the top
this
left
one
there.
here, yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. That's fucked.
Just this fucking eye
That's
poking
fucked.
through.
You know what other one I didn't need to watch to know that it would fucking make me shook for the rest of my life? Was fucking the Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, that's
I know
good
I
one.
didn't have to watch that. I
Oh,
didn't need to see that.
oh man, Hills Have Eyes. When the fucking guys in the outhouse.
I don't know. Didn't see
Can you
it.
hear me?
Oh, sorry. Dan just came back. Now you guys are both going
Oh.
camera fucking crazy here.
Wayne's World.
Remember when he's in the outhouse and the guy comes out of it and he's like, ah, and they pull that guy out of the outhouse in Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah,
Sounds terrifying.
I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it fucking creeped me out because that was like the golden age of me using outhouses was right around when that movie came out.
The golden age.
Dan,
Dude, I pooped in a lot of outhouses around that time.
Dan,
I still do.
what are your thoughts on Ichabod and Mr. Toad?
Ichabod and Mr. Toad. You see me like the cartoons?
Yes, thank God. Thank fucking God he knew.
We didn't know who the fuck he was
It's
talking about.
two. Yeah,
Nerds.
yeah, it was the two. Like Ichabod was the headless horseman one, and I can't really remember Mr. Toad.
No,
all
it's the
that
same
much, but
one.
I remember the
Mr.
headless
Toad's his
horseman.
horse.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's that Ichabod and Mr. Toad. That's like the iconic fucking Headless Horseman cartoon.
I thought it was Mr. Toad like a. I thought it was like another cartoon. No, it's the same cartoon.
Yeah, I think so.
You guys
And
are just
what's
big
your-
fucking
What's
nerds.
your movie monster? What's your Halloween monster?
Yeah, what's the one? Well, okay, what's your favorite one, and which one made you shit your pants the most?
What's my favorite Halloween monster?
Yeah, or just
Probably,
scary monster,
What's that? Halloween monster
horror movie.
or horror movie?
Yeah.
The Thing.
Yeah, good
Oh,
one. Good
John
pull.
Carpenter.
Oh man.
Little
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. Oh,
Well,
that's a good movie.
I think it's like it's really that trilogy. Like those, like probably my two favorite Halloween movies are probably like The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China. Like, I think those both count as good Halloween movies.
That's fair.
And The Thing is definitely the scariest. Like that's like the scariest movie that I can think of. Besides, like maybe Alien or something. But I'm more of like a sci-fi horror person. I'm not like a big when I watch like the Jason movies or the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Like it's more like those are just for laughs. Like it's just like, oh fuck, he just like broke that dude in half. Like
Yeah.
Not Halloween, man. Halloween's so terrifying.
Halloween was like Michael Myers just popping out of nowhere. Just,
I know, but he was just
Yeah, but
like
he
he was just a
stabbing people's
killer.
necks.
Stabs
He's a
people.
killer.
People get stabbed all the time. I listen to so many true crime shit that I'm like, people get stabbed and people get strangled all the time.
I see it. It's horrifying.
All the time.
It's fucking
He's
horrifying.
the
I
most
was
he's the most
so when
real
you're watching
killer.
that and people freaking out and they're like getting stabbed and they're like, oh.
Well, you
like,
can buy
this
his
is happening to real
backstory
people.
too. His backstory is legit. It makes sense. That can happen to people.
Yep.
There's this one horror movie called what was it? Deadliest Friend, and it's got the lady who played the mom from the Goonies, the old lady, the gangster mom from the Goonies in it.
Throw Mama from the Train. What's her name?
And she fucking there's this one scene, you can look it up, and she gets a basketball thrown at her head and her fucking dummy head explodes.
Awesome.
Like it's amazing. You're
That's
just
awesome.
like, holy shit. Just did not see that coming.
You guys, we're all missing the scariest fucking
What-
Halloween movie of them all.
What movie is that, Dan?
Deadliest Friend, I'm pretty sure.
Just go head explode
I
basketball.
watched it last year or something. Like it popped up on something. It's called like Deadliest Friend. If you type in like Deadliest Friend and head exploding basketball, there's a
he's
gif
got
of
it.
it
He
somewhere.
found it.
Here it comes. Here.
Zell's a fucking.
Hey, see, you found it. I
master,
told you.
yeah.
I'm going no audio. Maybe that'll not get us a strike.
Let's see. What the fuck? What the
Oh! I just picture screaming boys. Boys! Oh! Oh, that was awesome. Yes.
Exploded head.
Still,
Like it just boom.
I
I'm
need
always
to see
a fan.
that.
Even bad practical effects I always love because they're always just like, when it's shitty CG, you're just like, ugh, gross. But if it's like, like somebody built that dummy.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like you're like there's some craftsmanship went into that. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of those are so that there's that one and there's another movie where this dude like it's like a prop dummy, but it's like inside of a sleeping bag. I think it's called like The Prophecy or something is the movie. It's like from the 70s or the 80s. And it's like this monster comes out of the woods and like picks this guy up who's in a sleeping bag and it just like pound like sends it flying into a tree and it just explodes. Just
awesome.
it's just like I was like those are some of the best. Like I love those horror movies.
this it?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, pretty sure. I don't know if this. Yeah, here it goes. Yeah, this guy.
Oh!
Yeah, that's good. That looks great.
No, those are good death scenes right there.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking quality shit right there.
Yeah, in the new Halloween, he head stomps one guy and just smushes his head.
Awesome.
And I was like, I don't think you could do that in one stomp.
I've seen
Yeah, if you're Jason,
I've seen a number of movies.
if you're Jason, you
and
can.
so that means it could really happen.
Jason. could
Andrew, what do you
definitely
think? What if someone was laying flat and without jumping, could I stomp hard enough to just collapse their whole head?
that? Probably not.
What kind of boot are you wearing?
But it's Michael Myers. He's
Ah.
he's
A normal
wearing-
person can't generate enough force to do that.
To pop a skull?
I'm
Yeah,
wearing
but he's a
I'm wearing
psycho.
some
It doesn't matter.
Markswork Wereworld quad comfort
Okay, like a
Steel shanks,
tarantula grip
2-inch tread.
steel shank boots.
perfect
Yeah.
example is we do fucking jumpers all the time that take headers, and we're talking fucking like 10, 15, 20 stories in their
Head
heads.
first?
Yeah, and their heads don't always
Fractured skull, but they don't actually like.
Yeah, but you still look at it and it still looks somewhat intact. Like it doesn't just get
They go
smushed.
head first though.
It's tough to say. Probably
I'm saying
not.
like you got somebody Michael Myers who is.
No,
I
but
don't
that's
know, what are the
different.
stats
He's
on Michael Myers?
supernaturally
Like, how tall is he?
powered.
How much does he weigh?
He's a big dude.
He's a big fucking
He's
dude,
a
man.
big fucking dude. He's like
260?
6'8".
Oh, you know,
Like,
Still can't do
Hey,
it.
you know what?
I still don't think you can do it.
I fucked up. We could 100% had a Michael Myers
Oh, that's right.
from Halloween Resurrection on here to talk with us.
Why didn't we do that?
It's your parents' good friend or something,
I
right?
totally forgot. My dad's like good buddies with Brad Loree, who played Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection. We went and like my dad kept telling me that, and I was like, yeah, sure. And we went to Fan Expo once,
Yeah.
and he had a booth there. My dad was like, make sure to go say hi. And I didn't want to because I thought my dad was full of shit, and I was gonna be like, oh hey man, my dad Rob says hi, and he'd just be like, oh yeah, okay, do you want an autograph? And like I said that, and he was like, holy shit, Robbo's kids like brought us in, like
Yeah.
signed his picture and shit. It was crazy.
That's fucking awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
So Brad
He could
Lurie,
tell
maybe we'll
us.
get you on
He
next
knows.
Halloween. You can tell me. Yeah, we can Brad. We'll ask him if he could stomp a human head.
He'd be like, yeah, I did it on set.
Yeah, those deaths were real.
We killed real people.
What a gravy gig that would be for an actor, though.
Well, I'm gonna go out
You
on a
just
limb
walk.
here and assume he didn't make very much money doing it, though.
Probably made more money now off the fandom though.
Totally. Like he didn't have a speaking role at all. You don't make any fucking money if you don't have lines.
Still.
Mr. Professional
Well,
actor.
Yeah, I will. Fucking look it up
Dangers
on
in the biz.
IMDb, okay? If you don't believe me.
So. What?
Mr. Hollywood over here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But we still haven't talked about the
Oh.
most iconic Halloween movie of them all.
Which one? Halloween? I mean,
No.
that's pretty that's
No,
pretty
it's more
iconic.
that-
That's pretty Halloween.
More than that, boys. More than that. 3 words.
Hocus Pocus. No, that's 2.
Ernest, scared, stupid.
Ernest.
Oh, man.
That is
Oh.
that is just the fucking. That is my go-to Halloween movie. It's the best. Perfect amount of fucking scariness. Perfect amount of hilarity.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the fucking best.
Is that
Don't they
the
kill
one
the
where
trolls
they
with milk?
like
Yeah.
they've got to get the like what the trolls and they got to get the milk?
Yeah, because they're turning everybody into wood, right?
Yeah. That is a good movie.
That's a wicked movie. But you know what the worst thing about it is? Like when we're talking about movies that made us shit our pants the most as kids, like Halloween scary movies, you don't know what mine is, which is so fucking embarrassing. Leprechaun. I don't know why, man.
I'm the leprechaun.
That movie scared the shit out of me, man.
I don't even remember that movie as much as I remember the scene from Wayne's World 2 where Wayne just keeps going, "'Cause I'm the leprechaun." And Garth is freaking out beside him.
What is it? There's one where he goes, there's like Leprechaun in space. Oh, God.
There's a new one
There's
came
a lot
out
of
last
this.
year, Leprechaun Returns 2018.
Oh shit.
Was it him? Was it Dionne Warwick? Is that it?
It's
That's the actor, right?
Is fucking
Uh,
is Jennifer Aniston in it?
it's Jennifer
No,
Aniston was
she's
in
only in
the
the
first
first
one
one,
with her
and then
big old
never-
nose.
It's got a 5.1 on IMDb. Let's see who's in it. Stars:
Yeah.
Taylor Spratler, Pepe Sanuga, Say Bennett. I don't know any of those people. So Andrew. Oh,
What's up?
nothing.
Is
Oh,
it
you
that
found me
movie?
on there.
We found him.
Was Warwick Davis the Leprechaun?
Warwick Davis. That's it. That's the name.
No, the
What?
leprechaun in this movie is Lyndon Porco.
Okay, because Warwick Davis is
He's not.
the
He wasn't in the new one.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it's bullshit.
Warwick Davis. I think the last one he did was Leprechaun in Space. I think that was the last one they did.
But that one, and you fuck the people under the stairs. That movie fucked me
That
up, too.
oh, dude, that
movie
actually
fucked me
movie.
up.
That
That was
fucked
a
me up.
weird fucking movie.
That was because that's kind of like a real thing too. Like I'm sure like that's probably based on a real story. Someone locking people up in their fucking basement.
People are weird, man. I'm telling you,
It is
like
weird.
when we were
Fucking cannibal.
Saturday was the night that everybody partied for Halloween. That was the big night, and it was the busiest fucking night you ever like I've done in a long time. And we're driving around the downtown east side at like 2:30 in the morning, and me and my partner are playing a game in the ambulance, being like, "Okay, you got to guess who's in a costume and who's just fucking weird," and it's really fucking hard. You don't know. You have no idea.
You don't know. All these fucking weirdos out here.
Totally, man.
Fucking Nightmare City.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody fucking knows these classic Halloween cartoons. What about Dan Flintstones? A haunted house is not a home. Remember that one where Fred inherits his Uncle Giggles' fucking fortune?
Is that an
Negative.
80s one?
Yeah.
Is that like an 80s one?
No,
I don't think I watched
that
those
was
ones.
that's the best one, man. Or even like Hey Arnold, where they trick the entire city
Andrew,
into thinking they're aliens.
you were just into anything that wasn't scary.
Yeah.
You were like,
Yeah.
yeah, Halloween.
Fuck yeah.
It's not spooky or scary at all.
No,
And
it was.
family friendly.
Whoa.
I love Halloween asterisk. Like long as it's not
Cartoon
scary.
specials. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
I can't do that kind of stuff because I remember watching Paranormal Activity for the first time, and I was convinced I was going to be paranormally activated for like 6 months. That fucking movie popped up in my head every day for 6 fucking months. I
That
was
one?
shook, man. I was honest to God shook to my fucking core.
I did like the first one. I thought it was kind of cool, and then they just fucking beat it to death over and over again after that.
Oh man. Ugh. I
It's
just
like, who's putting security cameras up in their bedroom?
people who are getting paranormally activated.
So,
don't know. I like Halloween movies, but yeah, like I said, I'm just a big fan. I like the latex costumes and shit like that.
Oh,
which
yeah,
isn't
they're-
like really scary, but it's like those ones are really. I think those ones are the most fun to watch. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I could go back. I generally watch The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Some of the old ones are the classic ones. Like you watch A Creature from the Black Lagoon now, it's actually part of it's pretty scary. Like some of it's kind of creepy, like the fucking thing coming out of the water and trying to.
I think it's scarier, man.
Yeah, there's some parts of there that literally that made me jump. That I was like, this is pretty scary.
Okay, what about
wait.
about the Monster Squad?
Quick
I remember
quick thing
Swag.
about Paranormal Activity. Do you know it had a $15,000 budget and made
Yeah.
$193 million?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's why
Christ.
they keep making so many of them
Wow.
because they're so cheap to make. Like the Blair Witch Project. Like the Blair Witch Project was the same thing.
Same thing,
it
yeah.
cost like a couple thousand to make, and then it made so much money. It's like that's what kicked off the whole like found footage thing. Is like you have so many of those in the horror movie genre. They just like keep spitting them out because they're so cheap to make that just as long as you put it out, you'll make money.
The original actors made $500 to start
Oh my
with before
God.
the royalties kicked in.
oh,
But
that sucks.
no, but they got royalties on top. But like obviously they weren't prepared to get that. They probably made couple million bucks each after that. That was
Wow.
it.
They made a bunch of money off of that one. That was,
And then it was bought, and the second one had a budget of $250,000, and it wasn't much better.
You probably made a shit ton of money again, though.
Yeah, they did. They averaged like $100 million every time.
yeah, you don't see the big budget like horror movies anymore. Like they're really, I don't know. It's hard to be like scary now. I think what's the big thing?
Yeah.
The ones that were pretty scary. I watched The Void. That's probably one of the more recent ones I watched. The Void. That's a pretty good one. But it's like I like the movies that are horror movies. Like they're not terror movies like that, like Paranormal Activity and those ones, like the jump scares. You have terror movies where like they jump out, they do the stupid cheap jump scares. Yeah, they do that kind of stuff. Whereas horror movies are like it's a slow burn. And like shit gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and you get to like, oh god, it's some kind of eldritch abomination that when I look upon it, it's gonna drive me insane and break my entire psyche into pieces, and I can't their faces are melting.
I can't even comprehend those type of movies. I can't. I love it. I'll be awake for fucking 6 years. I'll never sleep again. I remember my fucking first high school date was to that fucking Darkness Falls movie about Tooth Fairy. And I was fucking so shook about going to this movie, I brought a friend with me.
You double dated your first date?
No, she didn't bring anybody. I brought a friend. She came along.
Third wheeled your first date.
I was too shook, man. That's an honest God truth. Watched half that movie from behind my jacket.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Holding on to your friend's arm.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
In the
What was one
popcorn.
movie that's? I guess that's count. I think it counts as the more. Did you guys watch the Nick Cage movie Mandy? Did you watch that one?
No.
No.
Oh, that's a pretty badass
Like
movie.
the old school Mandy?
No, it's just called Mandy. Like it came out not maybe last year or the year before. And that movie's fucking, I think you'd classify it as a horror movie, but that movie's so tripped out fucking weird, but it is awesome.
Did it play like fucking Barry
Yeah,
Manilow's
it was in
Mandy?
theaters and stuff. I think
Oh,
a lot of people
Mandy.
liked it because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack was pretty dope.
You came and you gave without taking.
No,
And
not
I
that.
sent
It's-
you away, oh Mandy.
And I'm pretty sure Nick Cage in that movie, it's his best movie because he literally has about 2 lines in the entire movie.
Whoa.
Does he
And
does he nail them though? Probably nails those
Yeah.
2 lines.
Yeah. He nails those. He nails those 2 lines, and then for the rest, he's just like the best kind of psycho Nick Cage that you want to see.
Dan, what was your best Halloween costume ever?
Best Halloween costume was I went as a scuba diver one time, and I had an actual scuba tank.
Oh, that's pretty
I
good.
Walked around with that. It did kind of suck though because it was really heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not light if you're not in the water.
But I had like a full wetsuit on, and I had that, and I had the mask and everything. And I was like, that was probably one of my favorite ones.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then a lot of times I went as Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's
Like,
cool.
A lot of times.
A lot of times I went as Indiana Jones.
I think my best costume, I made this awesome Duffman costume one time, and then we played a Halloween metal show as Duffman. That was my claim to fame.
That's pretty fucking cool.
I had the beers on the hips. I had the fucking perfect cape. I like sketched a perfect Duffman. Had the hat, sunglasses. It's great.
I'd like to see
I'm
that.
the designated driver. Duff fully supports the designated driver program. Now let's get ready to party.
Duff Man.
That's a great character.
What about you, Braden?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like. I've like never been the biggest. I've always been like, I'll get a costume and I'll do it like the day before kind of guy. So like, I think probably one of like my best costumes is I went as Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's 2.
That's pretty good.
And I
Oh.
thought it was pretty legit, and I'd like die, and then when the music came on, I'd rise up and do the like gyrate on the floor and get up and then walk around.
Oh no, Braden! I'm gonna put this popped up, no joke, on my feed today. I forgot about it. This was a great night. Macho Man Braden,
Oh yeah.
and I was the Hulk. Oh yeah, that was a good fucking night. Braden got kicked out of the club because he was taking people's IDs when he wasn't working there. That was fun. That was a fun one.
When did the Hulk ever wear tights?
It was cold as fuck. I had to wear something.
Buddy,
This is
it's
Canada,
It's
Dan.
cold as hell. You
Can't
gotta
do that.
You gotta. We don't have cool costumes in Canada because it's cold.
That's pretty good. Macho Man. That's a good costume. That'd be a dope one. I can't remember what else I could. But I remember, I think one of the best trick-or-treating, like we had a lot of trick-or-treating here when I was a kid. And you'd walk for so long. And then I think one year I filled up like a whole pillowcase. Or no, it was like half a pillowcase. Filled up like half a pillowcase. And that was probably the biggest Halloween haul I ever had in my entire life. I was probably like, 12 or something like that. I was like, yeah, it was a fuckload.
Yeah, those are prime fucking trick or treating years.
I think I went as a
9
pirate.
to
One of my friends
13.
went as like Morbius the vampire.
Oh, that's
back,
cool.
it was back prime Morbius time.
Oh,
That's a good costume.
He had like the wigged out hair and like the just like a black
Plasma.
vampire kind of thing.
I remember.
Oh, dude, here it is. I can't believe I found it. It's not as good as I remember.
Yeah, it's still pretty good though.
Can we zoom? Oh, can I zoom in on that? Fucking Facebook, I can't. Never mind.
Duffman.
Duffman.
Duffman can't breathe. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Duffman's a really good costume. All right. I don't know. Halloween's always been kind of it's for the last couple of years I was in Thailand. Like they don't really do Halloween.
That's
there.
more- yeah,
They
they-
have costume parties, but it's mostly like you go to like a club and get dressed up and get wasted.
Well, that's just Halloween as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the fucking sad reality.
But it's strange to see it over there though, because it's just weird to see Halloween as like an international holiday where it's like, yeah, let's all get dressed up as fucking weird characters and get wasted. It's like, you wish it was every month.
It's true.
It can be. For a long
Well,
time.
apparently it is where Andrew works. Like,
Oh yeah. No, it's Zombieland 24/7.
There's always characters roaming around.
Always.
Well, I mean, you can go downtown Cologne too. You get a few of those, but not nearly on the same scale.
I don't know. Like, in terms of I can't remember a lot of Halloween TV specials. Like, it was always Simpsons. I was always excited for Treehouse of Horror because those are always pretty funny. And then, like Halloween movies, I remember like Sci-Fi Channel would always have 31 days of like horror movies, and I would watch that sometimes. I'd be able to watch just if I had like day off, just watch a whole day of horror movies or something like that. But they are all like the Sci-Fi Channel shitty
That's
horror.
not even a day off. That's terrible.
I like watching shitty movies. I mean, that's one of my things. I like watching shitty movies, and there are a ton of shitty horror movies.
There's a time. I went through a phase. I went through a phase of shit horror movies as well. Ice Spiders.
I've watched
Crocosaurus versus Mega Shark.
One of them. Like it's like Ice Spiders, Piranhaconda, Octo Shark or Sharktopus versus Terracuda. Sharktopus versus what was the other one? Wolf Whale, Wolf.
Did you ever watch Komodo?
Yeah, I watched that one. Curse of the Komodo.
Yeah,
Komodo. There's one called like Basilisk, the Lizard King.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
I
that
remember
sounds
Basilisk.
badass.
It's all the Python. Oh, not Python. Anaconda movies. Like Anaconda, Blood Orchid.
I remember the first Anaconda
like,
movie. That was terrifying. One with fucking Ice Cube.
And J-Lo.
Yeah,
J-Lo.
J-Lo's in that shit too.
And then what was the other ones? I like those ones. I always like I like creature features. I think those are my favorite kind of movies or creature features. Like if it's got like a fucking weird monster in it, I'm down.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like, yeah, hell yeah. If it's got fucking Crocosaurus versus Gatoroid, I'm on it. Super Shark versus Robo Shark or some shit. Yeah, I'm down.
I don't think I've seen any of those movies.
This is a real movie.
No, I've watched a couple of. I've watched like we used to watch Ice Spiders and all these weird ass ones.
They're fun. That was when movies were more satisfying because you had to rent. You rented one movie, or like they would have like a deal like $5 for $5 on the old movies or something, and then you'd watch them.
And we're like, really fucking Ice Spiders.
And then
Alright.
then you wanted to watch all the way through because like, well, I paid for it. But now if it's a shit movie, you just skip. It's next. You don't even have to. You don't get to enjoy the bad movies anymore. You know.
Dan, have you ever seen Rock and Roll Nightmare?
Rock and Roll Nightmare. I don't think so.
Starring Thor,
Actually.
Canada's own Thor.
Rock and Roll Nightmare. Rock and Roll
Put that on
Nightmare.
the fucking list.
Sounds familiar with
It's really good.
Oh, there's a real good movie. What is it? Phantom of the Paradise. That's a good Halloween movie. Phantom of the Paradise is it's a musical directed by Brian De Palma, and
Oh.
it's fucking Brian De Palma. He's the guy who did the
Scarface.
Untouchables, I'm pretty sure.
You did. Brian De Palma did Scarface.
Yeah, and Scarface. Yeah, he directed a musical.
Fuck, I'd watch that.
Yeah, and it's dope. The music's not bad, but it's like this dude writes a song, and it's basically it's kind of like how shitty like the musical business is. Basically, he gets his song stolen, but he gets framed and sent to prison, and they steal his song, and then he gets horribly disfigured, and he comes back to try to kill the people who took his song. And it's pretty good,
Sounds great.
pretty awesome. He gets a dope ass costume, and then he gets like a little like Liz, what the fuck is it? He gets some sort of like voice modulator thing because he fucks up his throat or some shit and he can't talk, and he gets like a cool robot voice for the rest of the movie. Pretty great.
What is it? Halloween and Thursday?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great! I gotta go buy like 1,000 candies because I'm in a neighborhood with a lot of kids.
buddy, you're on you live on like Kelowna's best rated street.
Like this, they go crazy here. And last year, I caught same people come back like 5 times.
Fuckers. You giving them full size bars?
I'm not.
Are you giving
no.
full size bars?
Fuck no, but I do give. I do give a good portion.
All right.
I don't want people fucking silly stringing their toilet.
You know you're
toilet
only
paper in my house.
supporting Big Candy, right?
I don't give a fuck, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test out this candies. Make sure.
Well, I think I read somewhere that was one of the reasons that people started giving out candy or gifts or things because they didn't want people to prank their houses,
That
like
makes
for
sense.
Halloween.
Well, trick or treat. Give me a.
You know,
If you
Yeah.
don't give them something,
you understand, Zell, that if you only gave out your favorite candies, they wouldn't come back.
I'd get my head a house stone or
Yeah,
something.
they'd be destroyed. They'd light your house on fire. Candy corns and candy bananas.
Fucking candy bananas. Are you
Fucking
for real?
Bullshit.
Do you guys ever vandalize houses when in Halloween when you're a kid?
I was a dick. I smashed pumpkins.
Well, yeah, pumpkins all the time. I never took part in any large scale vandalism.
I had silly string too. We had silly string and we smashed pumpkins.
Yeah, a little bit of silly string, a little bit of pumpkins. I think like knock over realtor signs, like nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I don't think
Pretty tame.
we never pulled out. We never went as far as egg eating or TPing. I think it was always like it was just silly string and smashing pumpkins.
I remember like the first Halloween, like I was kind of like, I like was playing hockey at the time, and we went in as like a group. We were old enough to just like kind of go out on our own.
Oh,
Dave Albrecht, he somehow got his hands on like some sort of not a firecracker, but like a small explosive. I can't remember what kind it was, but it was like a little, but it was big, like it was bigger than your fist. And I remember we were all like, because we were probably like 12 or some shit or 13, and we stole a pumpkin, and then like we put this. I don't know what it would be called.
Mighty Mite?
I just can say explosive or some shit. And
found a stick of dynamite.
It's
It
like
basically,
C4. Like
And-
it's,
I remember we all put it in the pumpkin, and we lit it. We ran down the road, and we looked, and we just sat there, and nothing happened. And and we waited for a little bit, and we're like, oh, like it died. It didn't work. So we all started walking back, and we probably got within 10, 12 feet of the pumpkin. And it was just like, I'll never forget, it was this piercing bang, so loud. And the pumpkin like rose off the ground and then just exploded so loud. It was like, knocked me over. I was like, my ears were ringing, and I was like rocking back and forth, like, ah! Fucking pumpkin everywhere. Like 13 years old, I was like terrified.
Oh, and that same year, there's another 113-year-olds who either lost their hearing or lost a hand doing the exact same thing.
For sure.
Oh, 100%.
We got one of those fucking massive, like, it's like a giant Roman candle. Same idea, but it's like fucking probably about 10 times as big. and we decided we were gonna light it off in the middle of the street. And so we did, and it's just fucking shooting those rockets out, and it started hitting the fucking power lines. So I panicked and ran over and kicked it over. And it started bouncing off some guy's front window to his house. And just like, boom, boom, boom. Oh, fuck. It was terrifying, man. Somebody else kicked in and just started spinning around, shooting everywhere, and everybody was running, hiding behind fucking cars and shit.
Fucking fireworks are dangerous, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. I haven't done it since.
I always remember, like, me and Braden and I, it was at New Year's in fucking Chiang Mai, and we set down fireworks. Like, we got fireworks. We bought a bunch of fireworks for that. And we did it.
Hold on. It's even better than that. We splurged, and we bought a box of fireworks, but the box only had one wick, and I think there was 24 tubes of fireworks, and you just light one wick, and they all just go boom, 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 boom.
And we like the instructions were in Chinese, and so we didn't know which way you were supposed to put it. There were no like we didn't know if you're supposed to like which way was up, and then we put it down. We definitely put it in the wrong position, and it set it off, and it just like started like popping up off the ground and just like shooting shit everywhere, and we're like running behind like planners and shit trying to get away from fucking fireworks.
Good times.
Shit was funny. Fireworks.
Flares. It was the big ones that go boom and shoot shit everywhere. It was fucking terrifying, and you could tell it was so funny because you could tell that was happening to a shit ton of other people because the crowd was so huge. But like every now and then, you'd see the fireworks going up in the air, but then every now and then you look down the crowd and you could see someone put them upside down, and they're just shooting everywhere in the crowd, just exploding.
Fuck's sake.
I'll never forget because you guys all ran around the corner, and I was like. Same thing. I was standing like 5 feet away, and then the box shot off the ground. I was like, "Oh, we done fucked up."
We go done fucked up now.
Like just jumped into a bush.
Getting third-degree burns in Thailand.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
idea.
it was so
fucking
funny.
cover.
No, only Mr. Conspiracy got third-degree burns in Thailand.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh yeah.
Fell right on a fire.
Whole ass.
Holy fuck.
Sat right in a kerosene fire.
Seriously?
Oh yeah,
You're
you
doing-
jumping through the fire
Dude,
rings.
You're doing fire jump rope, and it was on. What's the smallest grade a beach could possibly be on? Like
It was like a 2-degree
the
slope.
tiniest.
Yeah.
2-degree slope to the ocean, and we're doing the fire rope. We're the three of us are hammered, and he like right at the edge of the water, honest to God, 30 feet away from where we're jumping rope, they have a pot full of the kerosene gas that's just kind of sitting on fire, just slowly just burning. 30 feet away, safely away from anyone. And this absolute dingus of a human being somehow he's jumping the rope. He jumps out because he doesn't want to jump the rope anymore. And he does that thing where you slowly fall backwards if you're like trying to catch for no lie.
Can't-
30 feet down the whole slope.
It's like
waving his
15,
arms.
15 big steps backward, like whoa, 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 whoa. Sits in it.
Ass right into the bucket of fire kerosene.
Oh man, it was bad. And we're all like, oh, it's fine, man. We're pouring beer on it, like putting ice, like, you'll be fine, man, you'll be fine.
It's
He's like,
fine.
It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. He's like, nah, man, it looks fine. It looks fine. He had the biggest fucking blister covering both butt cheeks. He had to wear like he was wearing like
A diaper
the
full of
fucking
aloe
maxi
vera
pads
shit.
and shit. What is that? This was like day 3 of his vacation.
He said in the morning when he woke, because he was so drunk he passed out, didn't really feel the pain, but in the morning his underwear, his boxers had fused to the cut, and he had to peel it off his ass, and there's like half skin, half boxers attached to his ass. It was and we're like, oh man, that's actually pretty bad. Sorry. Probably pouring that
was so good.
warm beer on it probably wasn't helping last night.
No. Andrew, what's the effects of when you pour beer on a fresh burn?
Fuck's sake.
Probably
You might
some
want to
type
go with something more of a higher
Higher alcohol.
vodka
Yeah.
or something like that.
No,
Vodka
just
is
some
good for
shitty
everything.
some beer chain probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can get that formaldehyde on there. Just fucking. I don't know. For like Halloween movies, my things, I don't know. Some people really like the Saw movies, and I've never really gotten into Saw movies.
I like Saw 1. Saw 1 was great.
Yeah, the first Saw was
the first time you've seen Saw, and well, obviously spoiler. If you haven't fucking seen it, like, too bad. When he gets up at the end, game over.
Oh yeah.
The first time I seen it, I was like, oh shit. Then
And the rest, yeah.
And
every time after that, I'm like, it's just like murder porn or whatever you want to call it. It's just like how fucked up can we make these?
The only
people
one the only part that really bothered me is when that chick got thrown into the fucking pit of needles.
oh yeah,
I don't know why that bothered me so much, but it did. Ugh.
just like stabbed 100 times.
By fucking Hep C, HIV fucking needles. I think that's just our biggest nightmare. Working downtown, you see open needles and you're fucking like, ugh. It's so. So we did a fucking overdose on the top of a roof, and this is downtown Vancouver. So you got all these big high-rise like condemned places where they live, and we're on one of the lower, like we're on the roof of a convenience store doing an overdose, and a lot of times the fucking junkies will use and then they just toss their rigs out the window.
Oh,
they toss their
no.
So we're fucking trying to work this guy, and you're like, what the fuck is falling from the fucking sky? And you look up and there's these dirty fucking needles like flying down. The firefighters are like putting up their jackets trying to fucking cover us while we're doing this overdose. And it's like, it was fucking terrifying, man.
There's raining needles.
Oh yeah. They'll use and just toss it right out the window. Like, oh, I'm done. Like, no biggie.
Probably got those needles for free too.
Oh yeah.
Give those things out like candies.
Yeah, but think about it though. Like, we want as much disease prevention as we can down there, because once those fucking diseases spread, they're gonna get sicker and they're gonna fucking pack the hospital.
It definitely makes sense, but at the same time, like, they don't. It'd be one thing if they appreciated it and like dispose of the needles, but if you're chucking them off the fucking.
But they don't appreciate anything. That's the problem. Like, you can't. It's such a losing, like when everybody's, they have free places to go do this stuff, and it's like, you understand why that's a thing, right? You don't want them using in fucking public. Yeah. Give them a place to go use. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense.
Give them the shack.
Yeah, they're not using these places
crack
anyway.
houses.
Yeah. It's better. Well, what scares away tourists more than fucking turning down the wrong street and you just see guy? Oh yeah, that's a great vein.
Going between their toes.
Oh yeah, man. No, those are the fucking civilized ones. The ones that want to hide their fucking scars. I've seen people injecting right in their jugular.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gross.
Whoa, that's fucked up.
Well, they use up so many of their. The worst is when you're trying to start like you have to find a good vein to start an IV on these people, and they're all so fucking. There's so much scar tissue, and they're all so used up, and you're like, fuck, man.
Like, is there? What's the limit? You could throw a needle into your vein before it gets too scarred. You can't get in there anymore.
Oh, I have no idea. But they're at that point. A lot of like lifetime users are at that point. Like, if they're really sick, we'll sedate them and just IO them. Like, IO drill is like interosseous, like going right into your bone marrow.
Oh,
because it's sometimes that's the only vein you can't get a vein. You gotta get, and they need
to go right to the source.
Oh yeah, man, it's a fucking sweet little drill.
Oh, that'd be the most. That gotta be the most painful thing, getting your bone drilled.
I'm telling you right now, we just did a shooting the other day. And the person screamed more from the fucking drill and the fluid than they were from the fucking gunshot.
Because you had to give him the drill?
Yeah, you had to. We couldn't find a vein because their veins were all fucking shot from shooting up. So we're like, okay, panicked, fucking zip, quick little IO. And they were screaming way more about the IO than they were about their fucking gunshot wounds.
If any of our listeners are ever in Vancouver, it's beautiful city. And just go walk around downtown Vancouver, and you'll find Hastings, and one half of Hastings is beautiful, and you're gonna hit like a 2-block section of East Hastings.
Just turns to shit.
Is a different world.
You don't go in winter though; it doesn't do it justice. If you want full fucking like the real deal experience, you have to go in the summer, where like there's thousands of people outside.
Like, if you're like, I'm going to talk about some of the shit I've seen in East Hastings. So if you got sensitive tummy, you don't like this stuff. Earmuffs. I've been down there and walked down the street, came around a corner to a homeless lady, like shirt off, sucking her own titties, just sitting there on the side of the road. And nobody batted an eye. There was like people walking in suits, nothing. No one even.
You just don't make eye contact. That's
frozen in fear, like, what is this?
No,
What is that?
That's
What's
just
going
Jenny.
on?
That's just Jenny. She's doing that every day.
Dude, to her titties,
It
man.
was-
So I mean,
I've delivered babies down there, like in the middle of the fucking street, like scraping fucking garbage and needles out of the way, deliver a fucking child, and then have the fucking person who just birthed that child be like, okay, get up to her feet, like walking with fucking, you know what I mean? She's still like, still fucking
Afterbirth
hasn't passed her
coming out,
placenta
like-
yet, and there's
like,
fucking
oh.
umbilical cord, like it's fucked. You snipped the umbilical cord, and she's still hobbling away, like with fluid falling out between her legs. And you're like holding this child, being like, "Okay, well, I'll just take this," and you keep doing what you're doing.
I'll
like,
just take this. I
yeah,
guess.
it's fucking so
he-
fucked up, man. And yeah,
He's
I get
wearing
it. It's sad,
sweatpants
but that's
and he
the
had
best thing that ever
waistband
happened to
of
that
the
kid.
sweatpants tucked underneath his balls and junk, and he's just standing there, he had a hard on. He was totally high, and he just had his dick and balls out tucked under, and he was just like hunched in a weird like bent over, and he was just dry humping, going and like just on the sidewalk, and everyone was just walking past him as he was like doing some weird shit. And again, no one batted an eye, and some kids were like little kids were like riding their bikes and their mom, and I was like, oh, prepare yourself, you boys are about to become men. It was terrible. No one cared, dude. No
Don't
one
give a
cared.
fuck.
I
No,
couldn't believe it.
They're fucking so used to it. Like lifelong Vancouver people. That's just, it's part of life, and you've got to go through sometimes you have to go through East Hastings to get to where you need to go. And they're riding the
Yeah.
bus with them. Like they don't give a shit. Don't care. There's a CrossFit gym right down on like fucking Cordova now, like right in the middle of East Hastings, and you'll watch guys like they do a lot of stuff outside, so they'll be like running laps and like fucking part of it's like zombie dodging. Fucking, it's hilarious.
This could be a horror movie on its own.
100% it could be.
Oh man, it's very uncomfortable there. Like very uncomfortable.
Try going into where they live, dude. Like every time we go into their house, it's like fucking Home Alone. Every one of these motherfuckers are Kevin because they're scared people are gonna steal their shit. So they set up booby traps, and you got to be on your fucking game, man. It's horrifying.
Booby traps?
Yes, every single one of them.
But instead of the paint cans, it's just needles come swinging.
It's needles or feces or fucking the worst. Honestly, the worst. Better than poop's not even the worst thing. The worst thing out of everything is the fucking bed bugs. Oh my fucking god, those are the worst.
They're everywhere.
I'll take cockroaches or bed bugs any day, any fucking day.
You can see them wiggling.
Oh, you see, well, because you're like talking to the patient, you get like a blood pressure, and you're looking at them, and they're like, "Why is this person's fucking eyebrows moving?" And you like get a little closer, and you're like, "Oh, it's fucking bed bugs, man."
Living on the dirty body.
Oh yeah, I can't like it gets so bad. Okay, so these people live in these tiny little like it's honest to God like half the size of a hotel room, and this is where they live. They have these tiny little rooms, and every time we try to get in there, you like gotta bash the door open because there's tons of shit in there, and it's disgusting. And there's bed bugs, and I like just last week I'm like I'm not fucking going in there. It's the grossest place I've ever seen. There's cockroaches, there's bed bugs, there's bottles of piss, there's everything you could imagine is in this guy's, and this guy's sick. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm not getting stuck by something or bed bugs or anything like that. So I'm like, I'm going to throw you the end of this blanket and you need to hold on to it. So I threw him the blanket and just fucking pulled him out of his fucking room because I'm like, I'm not going in there. There's no way in fuck I'm going in there.
You don't get paid enough.
God, no. Fuck.
Big work.
We need the crackhead stick, and it's like bring out the stick, like stick it in there,
big
like
hook.
grab onto this.
Totally, man. Like,
Yeah.
Boy,
it's,
give him the stick.
yeah.
Don't
You got-
give him the
Oh, what the
stick.
fuck are they called? You gotta get those little, like the little dog catcher things. You gotta get some of those.
Shepherd
Just, like,
hook?
loop it around their wrist. It's just like, huh, and then just pull them out.
I'm telling you, man, you got to do what you got to do because some of those, like, you want
Yeah.
to talk about scary
Got
shit? That is the
Cowboy
scariest
Andrew
shit.
Where he's got a lasso,
Fuck yeah.
lassoing.
Sheriff Mongoose fucking lassoing everybody.
All right, boys. Let's wrap up this nerds. We got way off the nerds anyway there. So
Oh, sorry.
no, that was fun. It's good stories.
Tangents.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Have fun. Stay safe.
They spooky.
Stay off of East Hastings.
Nerds.
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 Nerds. Nerds. Nerds.
I already ended it.
All right.